Ready? How many cars? Here's a quiz for you. How many cars a day are stolen in Oakland? How many? Give me a number. You say 40? Okay, I would say 40 was the number in 2023, according to one news report. 40. Well, I looked up Oakland crime data online, and the good news is that, well, take a look. This is stolen cars, okay? Stolen cars. 1,300 total. That's this is one category that says, oh, that's not the total. So don't be fooled by that. It's this, okay? So, hey Google, what's this is 90-day crime report. See, it says Oakland crime incident data past 90 days. Okay? Oakland crime incident data past 90 days, right? All right. And this is 1,300. So, hey Google, what's 1,300 divided by 90?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Really? Let's try that again. Hey Google, what's 1,300 divided by 90?
1,300 divided by 90 is approximately 14.44.
Okay, so 14.44 cars, let's just say 14 cars were stolen over a 90-day period in Oakland. 14. In the past, it's been much greater. It's been as much as 40. 40. And if you think about it, you say, well, gee, what's a good number versus a bad number? Well, there are thousands of cars in Oakland. As to how many there are really in Oakland, it's difficult to get a count. Some people look at traffic counts of cars that pass through Oakland. That's wrong because of the fact that you're talking about cars that get on the Nimitz, which is the 880, or the 580 freeway, or the Warren freeway. And that's hundreds of thousands of car movements a day. Okay. What you're talking about are registered cars, number of registered cars in Oakland. And that's the best way to get at the number. Now, you would say, doesn't that exclude cars that are just parking here for the day? And the answer is, well, yeah, it does, but the majority of cars that are parked in Oakland are not cars that are from someplace else. They are cars owned by people in Oakland. So let's just say Oakland um, number of registered cars. Whoops. Registered cars. Okay, let's see what that gets us. Number of registered cars in Oakland. All right. And so we get here is a we don't get a number. We've got an estimate of 1.3 million for Alameda County, but Alameda County is huge. We're talking about Oakland, okay? Oakland. And so in we have registration by county, but in terms of the city itself, all right? In terms of the city itself, we have an estimated population of 2023 of 43,072 people, all right? Um, we have a median age of 37.6. We have employee population of, yeah, 232,417. So that, let's say that one out of every two people in Oakland has a car, all right, among employed people. So that's 100,000 cars. So you're talking about 14 cars stolen over a 90-day period out of 100,000 cars. That's not um, that's not a big number. That's good. It's not a big number. Now you get to 40 and everything else, and it gets worrisome. But 14 seems manageable. Really you'd like to have zero, okay? Zero cars. Um, and That's really what you would like to see, the zero. How do you get there? That's a great question. Uh, how do you stop someone from stealing a car? Do you have I think would you have to have I would think an electronic device that, if it's moved in a certain way, throws out an electric shock. Just possible. I think there would be groups that might challenge that on legal grounds, like why would you make something that can harm a person that way? Um, but again, if a person breaks a car, if they try to smash a car, smash into the car, and try to open it, and then they try to mess with the ignition, then fair, it's fair to reason that they're trying to steal the car. And if they get to those steps and touch the wheel, then they deserve to get an electric shock, a mild electric shock that is enough to make them back off. Not enough to harm, but enough to uh, send a message like, hey, you're not supposed to do this. And hey, if you keep trying to do this, you could harm yourself. Something like that. Uh, I don't know if anyone's actually, somewhere in the country, someone has had to propose that kind of mitigation approach and have a legal opinion rendered on it. I just have to do the research to find out about that, right? But why not? I do believe it is possible to have a near zero car theft environment. Near zero. Near zero. Now, 14 cars over a 90-day period, that's four, but remember something, that's 14 a day. A day. I'm talking about days we were at zero. Okay. That would be a dramatic difference. That would be a dramatic change. How can we get there? And again, we were at 40 at one point. There's a whole lot of literature. For example, there's this article from September 24th of 2023. Almost 11,000 auto vehicle thefts in Oakland this year, or 40 per day. Wow. And it says, with the rise in Oakland's crime rate, a reigning concern for many of the city's residents and businesses, new figures showed that the number of auto thefts have hit an astounding 10,823 so far this year. That's an average of more than 40 vehicles stolen a day, and the highest since records dating back 15 years were, were kept. Then it goes on to read that according to figures from the Oakland Police Department weekly crime report ending the week of September 24th, there were 7,167 motor vehicle thefts reported in the city this time last year. And that's 2022. With more than 3 months left of 2023, the current number has already surpassed those reported in all of 2022, which saw 9,859 vehicle thefts. Now, the good news is, in that context, 14 rather than 40 is a great position to be in. That is a certain example of the declining crime numbers in Oakland, but you want them at zero, okay? Historically, Oakland motor vehicle theft totals were over from 2008 to 2022. The highest they've been were 2022, 9,859. Okay. So 11,000 is just like, wow, my goodness. The lowest, 2010, 4,591, 2010. And we started to realize higher numbers when the pandemic hit. When the pandemic hit, then we were into the 8,000. First, we hit the 8,000 plus range and 9,000 in the pandemic era. All right. So now we are clearly out of the pandemic, and the numbers should be a lot better this year. They're going to be. If we're going from 40 cars a day to 14 cars a day. So we're getting back to those numbers. But the lowest we've ever been, ever, in this period was 2010, just 591 for the year. Hey, Google, what's uh, 4,591 divided by 365?
4,591 divided by 365 is approximately 12.58.
Okay, so we had 12.58 cars stolen a day. So basically, this year is roughly on a par to match 2010 in terms of the low for annual motor vehicle theft totals. Now, let's compare that. Let's say 2009. Hey, Google, what's 6,284 divided by 365?
6,284 divided by 365 is approximately 17.22.
Okay, so that's 17.22. So that means that we are closer to the 2010 low than we have been in quite some time. So this year is shaping up to be a banner year in terms of decreases in crime. But again, you'd love to see it where 14 a day is a thing of the past. It's more like, what, one a day? Maybe sometimes zero a day. How do we get there? How do we get there? That's the question that I have for you. How do we get to zero vehicle thefts a day in Oakland? And is it possible? I believe that it is possible. But again, I ask you, what about an electric shock deterrent for cars? Leave the car alone. You know, if you smash the car, you put your hand on the steering wheel, you jimmy the steering wheel, you get an electric shock. Bzzzt. Okay? Don't smash. Don't try to grab the steering wheel. Don't mess with it. There you go. All right. Um, what do you think? Let me know. Let me know. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark ZennyReport.com. Thanks.